intrepid home repair person. I always attempt to fix things in the house. And I always get this huge list of things to do, commonly referred to as a honey-do list. And there is no job that I will not tackle. I fixed dishwashers, I've done refrigerators, I've done washing machines and dryers, and everything else that you can think of. Just this weekend, I fixed our dresser drawer. There's a magnet lock and a strike that disintegrated, and I went to my local big box store and I replaced it, and it worked perfectly. And if I don't know how to do something, I simply go on the internet and I look up a how to do video and I study it. I study it intensely until I'm able to fulfill that repair or that duty. Now, I mentioned big box stores. Big box stores are gigantic. And if you're familiar with those, there's three major ones in the area where you can get all your parts and things from. One is Lowell, one is Home Depot, and I must tell you about Menards. There is this gigantic Menards that they built in Melrose Park. And while I was working on my garage, I made the huge mistake of going there. And it's unbelievably gigantic. It makes the United Center look small. It has this bridge that takes you 5 minutes to get on the second floor. And the problem was, is I was buying 12-foot baseboards. And if you're familiar, those are very long things. So I had to get a cart. I had to sit on the walking movement of this bridge with the cart, holding it for dear life because it's on a 45-degree angle. And then I had to, luckily I had tape in my pocket, and I wrapped the baseboards so that they were a singular unit. And then I tied them to the board, and I went back down, and I was holding on to it like this, hoping I didn't fall completely off the bridge, or that it skidded and took someone else in front of me, away to the other world. It's a huge, massive, moving walkway, something I've never seen before. The store is totally overpowering. You need a bicycle or something just to move around the store. I mean, before I started my home projects, I was already tired just from walking around the store and carrying things and things like that. Don't ask for help because you won't find any. And if you do find help, the price of the item is increased. They jack it up because you found somebody. You're not supposed to be able to do that. You're supposed to be knowledgeable, walk in the store, and buy what you need. Now, luckily, I have this amazing Ace Hardware store near my house, a local Ace Hardware store. And I know everybody there. And the whole store is the size of this room. So when I enter it, I don't look for plumbing or millwork or electrical. They come to me. How incredible is that? All I do is walk in and they approach me immediately. And they ask how they can help me. And the parking there at Ace is absolutely fantastic because I can park in front of the store and walk a few feet in, or I can park behind the store and walk another few feet in, And there is never, ever, ever a parking problem. How often have we been confronted with a parking problem in a big box store, especially on Black Friday? You can't find parking anywhere. The two gentlemen that I encounter in there, I've gotten to know over many years. The manager is Bob. Bob is an all-knowledgeable guru. He's middle-aged, he's stocky, and he looks like he belongs on a road crew shoveling cement. Big, burly, crew cut. He knows everything about everything. He can tell you exactly what they have in stock, and if he doesn't have it, he can order it for you. And there's nothing he won't do or go out of his way to help you with. And then there's an assistant named Dave. So when I walk in, I expect to find Bob or Dave. Dave is lanky, and he's knowledgeable, but he's very quiet. But he knows where everything is in the store. He doesn't talk much, but when you express a problem, he knows immediately what you need. And he just walks to that area and gets whatever it is you need. And then he makes an amazing thing that you will never get in a big box store. He gives you alternatives. He'll tell you, well, you could, instead of this, you can use this part and put it in a different way, and it will last longer, and your project will be better. Because he's done it. He's a retired construction person. And that's all he did is work on homes. And that's something you will never ever find in a big box store. They will not recommend you doing something differently or steer you to a different product. They will only help you find whatever it is that you're looking to do. Now, price structure is different. You're going to spend a few more pennies at an Ace hardware store. But you got to ask yourself, are these pennies worth the service and the knowledge and the expertise that I'm getting from someone versus just buying something in a big box store? So, and I have the actual privilege of having 2 Ace hardware stores in my town. There's the very small one that I mentioned, the size of the room, which is the one I go to religiously because I know the people there so well. I've known them for many years. And then there's another one on the other side of town that's a little bit larger and may carry more stock. I rarely visit the other one because my loyalty is to my friends at the local Ace hardware store that I deal with. So in concluding, I'd like to say Ace is the place with the helpful hardware man. So don't look at the few pennies more. Go into your local Ace, and I'm going to guarantee you an amazing, an absolutely amazing experience. Thank you, Mr.
If you'll take a moment on the ballot and write a comment or two you'd like to share with Ilio about his speech. I'm going to give a shout out to my favorite Ace. And I know that whenever I go to a big box store like Home Depot or Lowe's, I'm always intrepid because I know I'm going to start at one end of the store and have to go to the opposite end of the store and usually back one more time to where I started before I get everything. The Ace hardware that I recommend is, if it's near your home, is on Westmont. You never see it because it's tucked back along the railroad tracks. It is the south side of the Burlington Northern Railroad tracks and just a half a block east of Cass. And it's called Bale's Hardware Store. So they have actually a lumber store and a typical Ace hardware store with fantastic help. I don't know the names of the people, but they're always the same people year after year, and they're always very knowledgeable. So, did you have a comment?
Just wanted to, yes, add a comment. There was a phenomenal book written based on the ACE